Hi, welcome to the Poly Studio X30 setup tutorial. In this section, we'll cover setting up a room resource account for Microsoft Teams rooms. Before you set up a Poly Studio X30 in a room, you should have a Microsoft Teams account ready to use for the Studio X30 system. You may sign into the system using a personal user account for use in an executive office, for example. In this case, there's no need to configure anything in advance, so skip to the next section. If you're installing the system in a shared space, such as a meeting room, there are two scenarios. Create a brand new Microsoft 365 resource account and assign a Teams Rooms license to it, or more commonly, to assign a Teams Rooms license to an existing resource account. To create a brand new resource account, Microsoft documents the process on their online documentation page. You can find this page by typing Deploy Microsoft Teams Rooms on Android on a search engine. This should help you create a new room resource account and enable it for Teams Rooms. If you're enabling an existing resource account for a Teams Rooms license, log in to admin.microsoft.com. Select a room resource account from the active user page and reset the password and assign a Microsoft Teams Rooms license to it. Save the change, wait for the change to take effect, and have the account information ready for the Poly Studio X30 installation. In this next section, we'll go over the setup of the Poly Studio X30 and TC8 controller. First, take the Studio X30 out of the box. Then find the mounting clamp. Attach it to the bottom of the Studio X30. Then connect the cables. You'll want to plug in Ethernet to your network, HDMI to your display, and then power the cable. Place it on your display, adjusting the clamp so it's at the best angle for the room. This setup showed the Poly Studio X30. If you have a Poly Studio X50 setup is similar, but with a wall mount included instead of the monitor clamp. See the inbox setup guide for more details. Now take the TC8 touch controller from its box. It will also need an Ethernet connection to your network, and it needs to be Power over Ethernet or PoE enabled. If you don't have a PoE-enabled network port, you'll need to use a separate power injector kit which is not included. When the Studio X30 boots up, you should check to ensure that the system is configured in Microsoft Teams mode and that it's running on version 3.3.2 or higher, which supports the Microsoft Teams Rooms on Android Touch Control interface. You can check the system version by swiping the TCH screen from the right side. Go to Device Settings to see the current firmware version. After you confirm that the software version is 3.3.2 or higher, you can type in the Microsoft Teams Rooms account name and password on the Studio X30 and on the TC8, or select to sign in from another device and follow the screen instructions. To access the Studio X30 screen, you can either connect the USB mouse to the Studio X30 or connect to a touch-enabled display. Once both are signed in, tap the pair button on the TC8, check the pairing code displayed on Studio X30, and enter that code on the TC8. If the firmware version is lower than 3.3.2, then you'll need to update the system first. If the system is not in Teams mode, you'll need to change the provider settings. You can do so through accessing each system's web server. Here we'll show you web browser access to make changes. Open a web browser and type in the system's IP address and sign in using the username and default password, which is admin and the last 6 digits of the Studio X30 serial number. Once in on the dashboard page, check that the software version is 3.3.2 or higher. If not, go to General, Device Management and update the software. Once the software is updated and the system restarts, connect to the system on the web browser again and go to General, then Provider and select Microsoft Teams. The system will start in Microsoft Teams mode. Sign in using the Microsoft Teams Rooms account. Now the room is ready for Teams meetings.